Okay. What is going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going on?
Well, it's almost the weekend, which means it's almost vacation time for this guy.
Yes. So we are doing a little family vacation. Not sure if we're gonna be streaming live on Wednesday. B is he's campaigning for it to not be a live show, but we may if we're not live, we'll have something for you. Oh, look, if Ferris showed up. We weren't sure the big guy was going to show up today. Ferris is here. So Ferris is here. That means I guess we'll talk some
It's
basketball.
funny because he logged on, but he is not there. Okay.
In fact, Ferris, we didn't have any basketball on the docket for today, but if you got something you want to discuss, you can. We'll bring you up for the NFL discussion. We're talking Ravens and Panthers training camp. That's going to be the focus for the show today. We want to make this a quicker episode. Okay, we're gonna give you a show. But it's not gonna be. He just left. He said, "Oh, no basketball.
I'm
I'm out."
I'm pretty sure he didn't even have his headphones on for any of the part that pertained to him. So
He said, "I'm out of
anyway,
here." Well, Ferris, you're always welcome to join us for some football talk. You know your football. All right, let me give a shout out to the chat real quick. Yes, Pay the Bills is first in here. What's going on, Pay the Bills? Thanks for
so
coming
pay the
through.
bills.
We got Just Aloe says hello, everyone. I hope we're all doing well. Indeed. Thanks for coming through, Just Aloe. And our guy, DDSQ, says, what's good, y'all? What's
So
good,
Q.
DDSQ? Look, everybody, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. No more Twitter, okay? No more Twitter. In fact, we should probably start posting on Twitter the link to the YouTube channel so people can come and take a look. He said, my bad, you want me to come back? We didn't tell you to leave. Ferris, you're always welcome on the show. You're always welcome. But I was just telling you that this is going to be more of a football discussion today. Look,
My
if you
man
want to
said,
discuss some
"Quick
basketball,
show and dip the hell on out."
yeah, I'm not here for that. Ferris, man, whenever you're ready to hop on, let us know. Just click on the link and we'll bring you up. All right. D Weezy said he forgot it was Wednesday. Yeah, it's that kind of week, huh? Is that kind of week? Well, you're here now. Thanks for coming through. All right. But yes, no, we did want to focus just on talking some Panthers and Ravens. We've been discussing it Monday and Tuesday. Okay. I hope you've been watching the Ravens roundup that came back. Now we're not going to be back next week, but the week after we'll be back. All right. But we teased you guys a little bit, so we talked about that. We were on Yolanda's channel, Ravens Talk with Yolanda, yesterday, discussing some Ravens and Panthers. All right. So I want to continue the discussion today. Okay. And Ferris is here, and Ferris is a Giants fan, so I'm sure he want to discuss some Giants or not. Okay. Or
As the
not.
case may be.
We'll see. But we're gonna be talking. We're gonna talk a good chunk of training camp, maybe a little basketball. USA basketball team won today. I don't think there's a whole lot to say there.
No, there really isn't. They beat
There
South
really isn't.
Sudan by a good margin. So y'all can stop freaking out about the practice game that meant nothing.
What's going on, Hendo? Make sure you subscribe to the Rogue Pod. Yes, indeed. Oh, look, man, these people just jumping in all of a sudden. Killer Cam says, Hola, Jose. And also, Mucho Gusto Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam.
Nice to meet you. Kim Taylor says, hey, fellas, glad I finally caught you live. I have to keep up with the competition. Oh, okay. What competition? You competing with us, Kim? You got a channel?
Because you about to get banned.
Thanks for coming through, Kim. And speaking of Yolanda, says good
What's
evening,
going on,
LBHT
Yolanda?
family. Salute to Yolanda, another dope YouTuber that you need to be subscribed to. All right, we just did a video with her last night.
Yes, and thank
All
you
right.
again for having us on.
Yes, thank you. Another dope YouTuber, our guy Jared Green. Okay, the
What's up,
Southern
Jared?
Baller Show, dope show.
I know Jared getting ready for that Bud Crawford fight this weekend.
Ah, yes. We will be doing a stream. It may not be after the fight. Okay, we're just getting a little bit older. I'm gonna be real about it. Okay, might be past our bedtime. We might give you a stream the day after. Okay, that's on our other channel, Ring Kings Podcast. Oh, Kim says she's a Chiefs fan. Oh, salute. Okay, we love Patrick Mahomes over here.
Listen, Kim,
Okay, it's
I
always
might be right there with you next year, depending on how this Bryce Young thing goes. And
it's all love for Pat Mahomes over here. All right, all love for Pat Mahomes. Did we just say we all make mistakes?
yes, we made the biggest one, supporting the Carolina Panthers.
I have faith in them. All right. Look, we gave you guys the topics, okay, and we'll see where the show goes from there. And I think we're gonna have a fun time in the overtime show as well. Okay, we're gonna be discussing what's going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in the late breaking news of Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. Well, we'll discuss all that in the overtime show. You can find that on our
You hear how
Patreon.
much he's getting to play Doctor Doom?
Yes, we'll
I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm just saying.
They can Google it, but that's on our
you
Patreon.
know they don't Google.
Patreon.com/LBHTShow is where you can find that discussion. Okay, that's after this show. All right. Also, did I pin the link? Yes. All right. Yes, there's a pin link in that chat box. You guys know what that's for. That is how we do our super chat. All right, you can do that, or that QR code which takes you to our Cash App. That's $LBHTShow. Okay, both ways. You leave your donation, leave your comment, and we give you a nice little animation on the screen. Our microphone man will do the Park Heights strut for you. All right, and we'll read your comment live on air. But we're going to get started with the topics. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B and Okole have a Black History fact for you.
Welcome to this week's Black History fact. Dominique Dawes, affectionately known as Awesome Dawson, is a renowned gymnast with a remarkable career. Born on a crisp autumn day in 1976, in the heart of Silver Spring, Maryland, Dawes discovered her passion for gymnastics at 6. By the time she was 10, she was already turning heads in the junior elite gymnastics circuit. Her trophy case is brimming with accolades. She's a veteran of the U.S. national gymnastics team, where she served for a decade, clinched the title of U.S. all-around senior national champion in 1994, and represented the United States in 3 Olympic Games. Dawes etched her name in the annals of history with the Magnificent Seven, the storied U.S. gymnastics team that clinched gold at the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, where she also snagged a bronze for her performance on the floor. Dawes' Olympic journey is a trilogy of triumphs, with team bronzes in Barcelona, 1992, and Sydney 2000, and that shining gold in Atlanta. She broke new ground as the first African American to win an individual Olympic medal in gymnastics, inspiring countless young athletes to follow in her footsteps. After bidding adieu to the competitive world of gymnastics in 2000, Dawes didn't slow down. She earned her degree from the University of Maryland, dabbled in acting and modeling, and even graced Broadway stages and music videos. Her advocacy work is just as impressive. She led the Women's Sports Foundation and co-chaired the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition, alongside NFL star Drew Brees. Nowadays, Dawes channels her energy into nurturing the next generation of gymnasts at her academy, fostering a nurturing and positive training atmosphere. Her contributions to gymnastics have been immortalized, with inductions into both the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame and the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame. Dominique Dawes' story is one of a young gymnast's metamorphosis into an Olympic icon and a champion for health and fitness, leaving an indelible mark on the sport and the lives she continues to touch.
right. Salute to Dominique Dawes. Okay. It's time for some training camp talk. Let's bring him in.
And okay, are we really committing to talking New York Giants football right now? Is that what we're saying?
Ferris is well versed in.
I know
sports.
I know Ferris is. I'm just saying, are we going to? Are we going to?
Well, he left. You scared him off.
Oh, well.
All right, we're going to talk Ravens and Panthers. Okay, we're going to talk Ravens and Panthers, and he can get in where he fits in. All right, if he wants to mention some Giants, he can mention some Giants. Okay, but the chat's going to be going off. They want to talk some Ravens and Panthers. B. All right, so let's give them what they want.
Oh my God! Now Ferris is back. Okay, I'm gonna bring him up. I'm just gonna bring him up. It's ridiculous.
Bring him up.
Absolutely ridiculous at this point. Cannot believe this. What's going on, Ferris? Are you here to stay?
What's up, Ferris?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, guys. My internet's been wonky. At one point, Brodny just disappeared for me, and Jose was talking to himself.
Oh, okay. Did you see the animation on the screen?
Yeah, I saw it twice.
Me too.
Not great.
Yeah.
Let's talk Panthers.
I don't know. I'm not sure if the audience saw it though. That's something we got to work out on our end.
I think we see stuff they don't see because sometimes when I watch the show on YouTube, it doesn't look that bad.
Wow, that's the highest of praise. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It ain't that bad.
It's great.
What he's saying is it looks really bad now. Now that he's part of it. It looks awful.
It's great. By the way,
Ferris?
I'ma need a day off. I think I call Ferris up.
There you go.
What's going on, Ferris?
Doing good.
My God.
Yes, and listen to Sean Cole. He says, "Hit the like." Indeed, yes.
I could leave Brodny if you want me to. I could just walk away.
It's all right. It's okay.
All right. Where do you want to start? Panthers, Ravens. Where do you want to start? B?
Well, Sean Coles, who I believe is here from Yolanda's channel. Thank you for coming over. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Said let's start with the Panthers first. So, who am I to say no to the fans?
Absolutely.
Let's talk some Carolina Panthers.
Hell yeah.
How are they doing in camp, B?
They still suck a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the word from training camp?
The word from training camp is, honestly, it's lies. It's Terrace Marshall is looking good. It's Jonathan Mingo is making strides. And I don't really believe either one of those things. Like, I kind of believe in Jonathan Mingo still. It's only his second year. And he did show some flashes. Terrace Marshall, you're not getting me with that one again.
This is his fourth year? Third or fourth year?
Man, I want to say fourth. I could
believe that.
Oh, gotcha, Sean. Thank you. He says he's from Coach.
Oh, salute. I could believe that he is looking better, right? Because here's the thing about Terrace Marshall. Coming into the league, he had some tools that stood out, right? He went to a team. Sorry, B-man. He went to a team that's just, they didn't have the act together, coaching staff wise, and I think Canales and his staff is just they know what they want to do with these players, and he can get the most out of these guys. That's why I believe. Well, you got to see it. I could believe that Canales has a plan for him. He's put in the work himself in the offseason, and he can come out here looking better. Will that translate to game time? I don't know.
This is the exact same story that we heard in training camp last year on Terrace Marshall. And I told you before he went to a terrible organization in a bad situation. I don't know why you talk about my team like that. But before he got drafted, I told you he wasn't going to make it and I didn't want him. I think, he's already asked to be traded. Nobody wanted him. This was last year. And God knows why they didn't just cut him. But I think that may be on the horizon for him. I'm certainly not wishing any ill on him. I hope he does turn it around. And if it's not in Carolina, I hope he catches on somewhere else and turns things around and has a solid career. I just don't believe the talk coming out of training camp on Terrace Marshall right now. I'm willing to give Jonathan Mingo, that next, the second year, because he did show some flashes and it is only his second year. But Terrace Marshall is a no.
Right, let me ask you
what do you think about old Terrace?
I never really liked him coming out of college. He was always the third amigo in the LSU offense, even though he was the number one wide receiver coming out of high school. Like, he was the guy. But then the problem is he rolled up, and then Jets and Jamar were there, which is funny enough. Were lesser high school recruits than him, but they outshined him. Everyone remembers that 2019 season, one of the greatest seasons of all time. They coming out of college, everyone knew about he had a knee issue, right? Like, it was like something was wrong with his knee. Something was wrong with his knee. And like we said, right, guys, people were like, "Oh, Ferris, he's tall and he can jump." I'm like y'all said, being tall is not a skill.
That's right.
Like, you're just tall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just jump. This isn't like the back in the day where we're in the 80s where you had a Harold Carmichael who was 6'8", and you would just throw him up the ball. That's the way the game was played. Like, the game is different. Receivers need to separate, and I don't see a lot of separation between him and Jonathan. I think that's what Jonathan. I didn't see a lot of separation when I watched Carolina Panthers games with Jonathan Mingo. Probably because Bryce Young was running for his life, but when he had time to throw, I didn't see a lot of separation from his wide receivers personally.
All right, let me ask you guys this.
Could be my small sample size, but that's what I saw.
No, that's fair assessment, and he hasn't done anything up to this point. He's going into his fourth year. They're saying he's looking good right now in training camp. That could just be, that could just be talk for camp, coach speak. Preseason. Now, preseason is kind of watered down. I mean, it's already watered down. It's even more watered down now, right? Because you're not really getting starters out there playing. But you still get guys that are fighting to make the team. If Terrace Marshall or somebody like, or Jonathan Mingo, right? They go out there and they look good. They're looking better than last year. Does that, do anything for you, given how preseason is now?
No.
I
mean, look, as a Jonathan Mingo, okay, you take a little bit more from that just because there's less to go on with him. Terrace Marshall, he needs to be performing in real games. I don't care.
What if he tears it up in preseason though? Like, he looks like he's just a step ahead of everybody out there. No,
I don't care. He better do something against New Orleans week 1.
What about you, Ferris? Like, and it doesn't have to be for those guys. Just in general, like, do you look at preseason now and say, all right, guys that stand out, you get excited for the regular season?
It rarely happens. It rarely really happens. I remember one year Ramis Barden tore it up in preseason. Everyone was like,
Ramsey's Barden.
Yeah, that's the man right there, man. That's the man. He was our 5th receiver during the regular season, and we didn't need him.
Okay, but on the flip side of that,
on the flip side, you get a Victor Cruz.
You know
what I mean?
Yes.
You get that's the thing. Like there are more Ramis Bardens than Victor Cruzes, though, by the numbers, right? By the numbers, Victor Cruz comes once in a while, and then he has a great second season because he hurt his knee. That the year he had that great preseason, he hurt his knee and was on IR for most of the year. And then the following year was our championship winning season in 2011, where he balled out.
Yeah.
But there are more Ramises than they are Victors. And here's the thing with wide receivers nowadays in this modern day NFL is it's become what the running back has become, right? Everyone wanted to be a running back, so they had so many running backs you can use. So that's why you didn't have to re-sign them because you just find another one. Same thing with wide receivers. You need to, and they're usually successful right away. Like a lot of rookie wide receivers, they're successful right away. A lot of them, there are some exceptions, but right away they're, so like it's year 4. He hasn't done much. You need a new wide receiver. You should have drafted one this year, and you did. And we'll see if Xavier Legette takes his job, because that's why you drafted Xavier, to take his job, because you're done on Terrace, because it's over. It's year 4 and you've done nothing. So you move on with receiver. Your receiver is becoming running back. If a receiver doesn't pan out, you move on, like you should. There's no patience anymore with receivers because a lot of these receivers now they hop in year one, they get 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, and you're like, that's a rookie. Now imagine him as like Jamar, Odell, Cooper Kupp, even receivers drafted in the 5th round are doing this. Puka Nacua. So a receiver drafted in the 2nd round not doing nothing for 4 years. And every offseason, it's the same story. It's whoa, big offseason. He looks good. You're not gonna trick me again. I'm done. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, can't fool me again. You know what I mean? It's like like you can't do that. You know what I mean? We're already on 4th. This is the 4th year.
That's why. Okay, I hear y'all. I for the most part I agree.
Yeah.
But I think there are times where a player clearly stands out and he shows that he doesn't belong out there with the rest of those guys. Like Victor Cruz is like when he was playing, he looked like why do you have your starter out there against those guys? That's what it looked like.
Yes.
Right? Matt Judon, right? From the time I saw his stats in college, I was like, you got to get some sacks. I don't care what level of football you played. Like he knows how to get to the quarterback. And the first game I saw him in preseason, he demolished the O-line, got to the quarterback, and he made it look easy. And I was like, that man doesn't belong out there with those guys. He belongs with the starters, right? Sometimes you get that from your players. And I guess for me, even now, like if a player stands out like that, like he just looks like he don't belong on the field out there, that says something. Not saying he's going to go out there and be a star, but it tells me, he's a star. He's a starter or, close to being a starter caliber player. But okay, that's the wide receivers. B. How's the rest of the team looking?
Well, it's difficult to judge the rest of the team really, because you're not. They just put pads on yesterday for the first time. You're not playing. You're not really playing football at this point. Bryce has made some impressive throws. Leggett has a couple of impressive catches, but there's not really a whole lot to be gained from just those walkthroughs essentially that they're doing. You want to see them with the scrimmages against other teams. They're going to be doing that, I believe, with the Jets again this year. You want to see them in preseason and see how some of the young guys have progressed. You want to see how the rookies look in their first action in the NFL. But yeah, I don't really take a whole lot from these just training camp, especially these early training camp practices.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so no other takeaways. That's your wrap up for
that. It is. I think that the big thing for Carolina is you want to see that O-line come together, and I want to see Jonathan Brooks when he gets healthy. Get out there on the field and see if he is the best running back out of that group, or if they wasted a 2nd round pick.
Now, yesterday on Yolanda's
they drafted
show,
him hurt.
Yeah, he tore his ACL. He was one of the best running backs in the country, but they said he's going to be ready for the start of the season. But he started camp on pup.
Shout out to Noah for a $5 donation.
Thank you,
salutations, brethren. Salutations to you, Noah. Thank you. You want to be awesome like Noah? Click that pin link that you see in the chat box. That'll take you to our Stream Labs page. Okay, that's how we do our super chats over here. Works the same way as super chat, right? Click on it, leave a donation, leave a comment, you get the animation right there. Also, you can hit that QR code. That'll take you to our Cash App, $LBHTShow. You can just type it in if you feel like typing it in. Right? At this point, you should be locked in. We should be one of your favorites. Okay. And it works the same way. Leave a donation, leave a comment, and Microphone Man will dance for you. Okay. And we'll read your comment live on air. Better than super chat. Okay. Yesterday on Yolanda's show, she asked us, some really good questions. Okay. She asked you a couple of questions about the Panthers too. But, she asked us who were some sleepers, or some guys that we thought were going to surprise for the Ravens. I'm going to ask you that question for the Panthers, B. Are there any guys that you think could surprise for the Panthers?
Man, I think that if someone is going to surprise on the offense, it's going to be Jonathan Mingo.
Okay.
I think he has the ability. Like I said, he showed some flashes last year, and if they're able to protect Bryce and keep him upright, and he's able to, actually read the defense and pick a receiver to throw to rather than just closing his eyes and tossing it up in the air, they may form a connection there. Defensively, that's a little tougher. Derek Brown had his real big breakout last year. They went veteran at edge. I still do like Amari Barno at edge. Don't know that he's really going to get the opportunity to make a big impact this season. I'll tell you what. I'm hoping it's Ike Ekwonu. I'm hoping on that one. But my answer is going to be Jonathan Mingo.
I want to say Icky. I think, listening again, people talk, right? You can't just go off of what they say, but sometimes you listen to people and they sound genuine and you believe them. And Icky, to me, sounded genuine. And he's like, look, man, I wasn't good last year. I took it for granted. I had a solid rookie year. I thought I would keep up the momentum and thought things would be the same, and it weren't the same. I guess I didn't prepare the right way for the season, and came back to bite me. And I think this year he's going to be locked in. Obviously, he has the tools, obviously. So him taking a whooping last year, him being humbled, having a new coaching staff in there to get him refocused, I think he's going to be your surprise on the offense. I think he steps it all the way up. Yeah. Ferris, I'm going to ask you your Giants questions, but I want to ask you in bits and pieces. We're going to get to it. We're going to give you a Giants segment here, okay?
Hey man, do your thing, bro. It's your show. You do whatever you want, my man.
If you want, anytime you want to chime in, though, feel free. Okay.
Feel free. No, you say you want a quick show, man. I'm trying to keep it on the quick.
Thank you, Ferris. Thank you.
I can do that. I can do that. It's a skill I have. I just don't use it. I'm about to. I'm gonna show you.
All right, we'll go over to. You want to go to some Ravens? I'm gonna read a couple of these comments too. Okay. And Kim says, yeah, join the Chiefs bus. Okay. Get out that train wreck over there in Carolina. Kim, are you the same Kim that DM'd us on IG, Instagram? I think that is. If it is, how you doing? Really nice person. Appreciate you coming through. Filthy, what's going on? Says Rashad Bateman is trash. This is how we starting to. Filthy. He says, what y'all think about throwing Andrews and Bateman in a trade package for a real receiver or O lineman? Okay, Rashad Bateman, right? They're saying he's looking good, and I always say this to B. Whether it's just coach speak or not, I'd rather hear that somebody's doing well than doing bad, or not hear anything at all. Okay. They said he's been playing well, and that's not even coming from the coaches. That's from Jeff Drabick and Jonas Schaefer, people that are at training camp, and they said that he was doing well without Lamar there, right? When the rest of the offense is doing bad, including Zay Flowers not really showing up, he looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. So I take something away from that. That at least tells me that he's really focused. Okay. Now, speaking of Zay Flowers, they said he hasn't looked great yet. Not worried at all. Okay. They all look pretty bad for the most part before Lamar got there. Now that Lamar's there, they're starting to settle down. Also, coach says this all the time. That first week or two, the defense is going to dominate, or at least the first couple of practices, the defense is going to dominate, and then the offense catches up. So what we're starting to see right now is the offense catching up. Now, to answer your question about a trade, okay, Mark Andrews. I like Mark Andrews a lot. I know sometimes it sounds like I'm not high on Mark Andrews. I'm not high on him in the playoffs. I need him to do something in the playoffs. He's done absolutely nothing. But I like him a lot. I think he's an excellent tight end. But yeah, you can go ahead and trade him. If we're talking about a good O-lineman, not some average guy, it's very hard to get good O-linemen. And if it's somebody like Trent Williams, there's no way they're taking Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman. you better add a whole lot more to that. So that would be difficult for a wide receiver. Still, right? Which wide receiver are we talking about? Because Mark Andrews isn't nothing out there. Okay, he's a solid player, but more than solid, he's a very good player. And I don't want to trade him for an average receiver. I want a good wide receiver. And what wide receiver would that be? Like, are we talking about CD Lamb? CD Lamb wants a new deal, and Dallas doesn't want to pay him. Is Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman good enough to get CD Lamb? I don't know.
No.
Those guys aren't good enough to get any receiver who matters.
Well,
also,
but
Dallas probably thinks their tight end's better anyway. So why would they want to get Mark Andrews? They probably think Jake Ferguson's better.
Yeah, he's not better. Jake Ferguson's not better than Mark Andrews. But
I didn't say he was. I said I think Dallas thinks that. So they're like, why even trade for a tight end when we already have one? Makes no sense.
You have two good tight ends. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like CD Lamb, if they don't want to pay CD Lamb, right? It's one of the situations where you're not going to keep him. Yeah, somebody has to give up something for him, but then they also have to pay. What exactly would they get? They're not going to get a first round, and they got to give them a record-breaking contract on top of that. They'll probably have to take a little bit less. So Mark Andrews could work.
Also, too, Rashad has like his injury history. Does that really help within the trade of getting CD Lamb? Could they be asking like, if you want CD, I don't want him. I want Zay Flowers. You know what I mean? Because if I was Dallas, if you bring me this deal, you know what I mean? I'd be like, no, because man's be injured. This dude doesn't show up during the playoffs. Give me the young wide receiver, and I'll give you this young wide receiver, and give me the guy who shows up in the regular season, but not the playoffs, so I can deal with that. I don't want the injured wide receiver who's always hurt.
Hey, let me double back real quick to some Panthers talk, because I want to give a shout out to Double O Kane. Okay, thanks for coming through. I haven't seen you in here before, but I appreciate you coming through. He says, what I don't like about the TMJ talking about Terrace Marshall assessment is fans act like it was a good situation. The entire offense been bad for a while. True. When Coach Wilkes stepped in and gave him a shot in 2022, he was the best wide receiver here. Do you agree with that, B?
No. I mean, best wide receiver here is not really saying much of anything. But the thing, the year that he's talking about, Terrace Marshall had under 500 yards. Like it wasn't, and he wasn't the best receiver there. DJ Moore was there.
I'm about to say, wasn't DJ Moore still there? He got traded the following year.
Yeah, but no, he they forced him the ball a lot, and he made a few plays. It wasn't anything special. His high game was 87 yards that season, and he finished with under 500. The other two, it stands out because the other 2 years he finished under 200 yards. And we can talk about the offense being trash all we want, and that's true. If you're finishing under 200 yards, that's not a them problem. That's a you problem.
Yeah, because great receivers tend to shine even in chaos situations, right? We remember the years in Arizona where Kurt Warner left, but they still had Larry Fitzgerald. Even though his quarterbacks were Derek Anderson, John Skelton, or Ryan Lindley, you still saw Larry Fitzgerald during those years. Garrett Wilson in New York with Zach Wilson, you still see you still be like, Garrett's the guy. I mean, he's the guy. Devontae Adams last year with the Raiders, with Jimmy Garoppolo trying to kill him. According to Devontae Adams. So you can still, as a receiver, still show up, even if your QB situation or the offense is not fully there. You can still do something. You know what I mean? Hasn't done much.
So I would ask this question, and this isn't I just want to know how you feel, B, as well, like any Panthers fan. If you like Terrace Marshall, right? You think, hey, he hasn't been given a fair shake. He's better and he's doing well in training camp. Do you think he's better. I mean, you brought in Deontay Johnson. You already had Adam Thielen. You brought in Xavier Leggett through the draft. Can he beat out any of those guys? Right? Not like all things being equal. Not the coaches aren't gonna give him a chance. If it was an open competition, do you think he can beat out any of those guys? Right? I mean, if you feel that way, you feel that way. But I'm just curious, like how much do you like Terrace Marshall? Is what I'm asking.
Well, no, I mean, again, because the scenario that he's talking about, at the time frame that he's talking about, he had 490 yards. That was and 1 touchdown. That was the high water mark of his career by a wide margin, right? Jonathan Mingo came along last year in an offense that was much worse. I think we can all admit that they weren't even a functioning offense last season, and he had 413 yards.
Yeah,
like Terrace is not a producer.
Okay, Sean Cole says no trade for Mark Andrews. What were you saying, Ferris?
No, he kept asking, did Larry Fitzgerald ever play for Baltimore? He never played for Baltimore, Sean. That was Anquan Bolden.
Yes.
I think he's just joking.
Okay.
No trade. Well, just Allo says trade. He said he's over Mark Andrews. I didn't say I was over Mark Andrews.
Just Allo's like, burn it all to the ground.
Now, I'm over him in the playoffs. This
So
year,
you're over him.
This year, I'm not over him. I'm not over him. Okay, this year is this is a must for a few people in this organization. I say organization and not team, because obviously y'all know how we feel about John Harbaugh. He should have been gotten fired. This year, you talk about Super Bowl or bust. I need a Super Bowl, not make it to the Super Bowl. I need you to win a Super Bowl. Well past due for that. Harbaugh, EDC, right? It's time for these players that he's been drafting and passing up good players to draft these guys and say, hey, I like our guys and all this stuff. It's time for them to show up. Right? Mark Andrews.
By the way, you guys did have a Larry Fitzgerald. He just went by the name Kadri Ishmael. So shout out to y'all. Sorry, I just want to make a Kadri Ishmael joke. I apologize. Let's move on.
Mark Andrews.
Wow.
It's time for him to step up. I was shout out to my guy Adrian, man, at work. We had an argument about Mark Andrews and how great he is or isn't. Adrian believes he could be a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Apparently they put anybody in the Hall of Fame, so he probably is a Hall of Famer.
They don't put any tight end in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well.
And he does well in the regular season sometimes, right? Like he's not as consistent as we believe it to be, and he's consistent in a bad way in the playoffs. And if you can't show up one time in the playoffs, not one time, 0 touchdowns, sorry, man, you're not that guy. Not only are you not a Hall of Famer, I don't want you on the team anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's anywhere near being a Hall of Famer. And honestly, this discussion is offensive. All right. I mean, like, talking about Mark Andrews, who's a guy, he's a good tight end. He had one great year.
Yes. Yeah.
And other than that, he's a good tight end who's turning 29, who's never once performed in the playoffs. And you're talking about packaging him with a first-round pick at wide receiver who's never once performed, period. Mark Andrews will get you a day 3 pick if you're trading Mark Andrews. Rashad Bateman, you'd be lucky, I think at this point, to get a 6th. If somebody wants to take a flyer on him, just because he hasn't done anything. But we're not giving up a starting quality offensive lineman or a number 1 wide receiver for your number 4 wide receiver and your backup tight end. Right? Like, it's just not. No, it's not gonna happen.
Hendo said he's not even in the Ring of Honor. Ooh, I think he can make it to the Ring of Honor.
Because Ring of Honor requirements are a little different than Hall of Fame requirements. It's what they did for your team.
Yeah, which was nothing.
That's also true.
5 Hall of Fame tight ends: Shannon, Ozzie, Ditka, Gonzalez, and Winslow.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be 6 in a couple of years.
There's only 5 tight ends. In the Hall of Fame?
7. Yeah, there's only 5 of them, and one of them is also in as a GM.
So yeah,
And a coach.
and
No,
Gronk will
there's
be
more.
there.
Right? Gates just got in, right?
Did he?
No, Gates didn't get in.
He
That
didn't?
was the
I thought he did.
that was the big problem. I don't. Let me
Oh, okay.
double check. Let me double check for
Well,
you.
Yeah,
we know
okay.
Kelsey and Gronkowski are
Gronk.
going in.
Yes.
So Andrews has no shot. That's not even a discussion. He's not getting in. Right, and that's one of the things I told my friend today, that wide receivers and tight ends is extremely hard to get in.
Yep. Nope. Gates not in. That was the big problem of this year's Hall of Fame class.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Hall of Fame class, but Gates
Sean
ain't there.
Sean said, I honestly couldn't remember if I signed Fitzgerald playing Madden or if the Ravens had signed him for a season. I hear you, man. I hear you. Sometimes you play those games and you're like, I fix their problems and they should go ahead and do it. And you assume, since they're smarter people, that they would do it, but they don't. Shout out to Sterling. My man Sterling says, Jose, I'm gonna have to make a run past your spot. Hey,
For
Sterling,
donuts.
Okay. Hit me up, man. Hit me up.
Damn,
I was just thinking about you today. I was like, man, I ain't talked to Sterling in a while. I gotta call him up. We gotta meet up, hit up the R House or something. All right. So I'm gonna call you tomorrow, man. Thanks for coming through. Our guy, Mr. Galloway, in that house. What's up, Dre?
What's up, Dre?
Hey,
What's up, Dre?
Dre has been putting out some excellent videos, man. Like, he has all your needs in hip hop covered. Go subscribe to Mr. Galloway. MisteGalloway. That's for the podcast listeners. Okay, that's where you can go and find him. Look him up. All right, subscribe. Spooky J says, we get a first from your Panthers, B. Oh, that's just disrespectful, Spooky J. Disrespectful.
Oh, okay.
I know they wouldn't, because their wide receiver core is looking better than ours right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zay Flowers aside. Zay Flowers is very good. But the rest of them?
Who are the rest of them?
Rashad Bateman, Tylan Wallace,
Nelson Aguilar,
Tez Walker.
Aguilar?
Yeah. With his mishaps. Aguilar was solid for us last year.
Yeah.
And I was doing the Philly meme.
Yeah.
So I caught that baby, unlike Aguilar. So why you turn your head like that? Sorry. Continue. He looked right in the camera. He was like this. Aguilar.
He said with his mishaps.
With his mishaps.
All right. The rest of the training camp. Malik Ham, he's back on IR. That sucks.
Yeah, he's done so.
That's actually somebody I wanted to see perform in preseason. Right? I wanted to see if he can go out there and just dominate the O-line this year. But he's out. They replaced him with Quincy Roche, former linebacker from the Steelers. Whatever. They say always looking good so far. That's good. Who else? Trenton Simpson. We talked about Trenton Simpson a little bit on Yolanda's show yesterday. I said that's one of the guys that's going to surprise. Zach Orr had a lot of good things to say about him. He said he's all business. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear from about young players, right? Like playing well, and like they're all business. They don't go out there and play around. They out there to hurt somebody, right? Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see that type of attitude, because he doesn't have to be the guy playing next to Roquan Smith, right? When you play alongside, it's the Ray Lewis effect, right? When you play alongside a great linebacker, it makes your job so much easier. You don't have to think as much. What's going on, Purple Rain Podcast? Go subscribe to our friends, okay? They did a video the other day, right?
Purple Rain. Sorry.
So our guys Sutton and Alex, okay, from Purple Rain Podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe. Appreciate you coming through, man.
The thing that always strikes me about Ravens camp is we all know that John Harbaugh's a liar, right? We know that. And that's fine. Like, a lot of coaches are.
Not
No. But I'm just saying, like, this is in general. We hear a lot about the defensive players, especially the young defensive players, and how well they're doing and how they're progressing and everything. And then offensively, we hear about whatever lie they came together months ago and decided they were going to tell you. This year, it's Rashad Bateman's looking great because we decided not to get any wide receivers. Right? It's the O-line's looking solid because we didn't do a damn thing at the O-line, right? You know, a couple of years ago when they also ignored the wide receiver room, it was, man, James Prochet he's emerged as a leader in the wide receiver room. And, you know, I don't believe the things that they say in Baltimore. I just don't.
The reason why seemingly taking it more to heart this year is because, like I said earlier, this is the year. Like, there's no more excuses. I mean, I'm not the boss, but like for me as a fan, right? I don't want to hear any more. Oh well, they're developing. Oh, you gotta give them a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, right? Like, I don't want to hear any more of that. We've put off supporting Lamar Jackson for 6 years now, right? Lamar's going into his 7th year. You squandered his entire rookie contract and got him nothing. Okay?
DeSalvo says he can barely hear you.
How about now?
Yeah,
it's better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But we got Lamar absolutely nothing. Okay, we squandered his entire rookie contract. Okay, so I don't want to hear we don't have the money. When you had the money, you didn't spend it on him. Even now, what's going on, Coach?
What's up, Coach? Thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Go help your wife. So now you pay some players on defense. You spent a first-round pick on defense, and you're saying, like my guys on offense. Okay, well, it's time for them to show out because you were in the AFC Championship game last year, and the expectation is Super Bowl this year. If you're saying Rashad Bateman looks good, should the Ravens go after Matt Judon? No. If Rashad Bateman looks good, then in camp you're hyping him up, better see it on the field.
We'll circle back to that one, so
we will. But if you're saying you like him, he better show up on the field. If Voorhees is leading the charge at left guard and he's starting, he better be out there blocking.
Yeah.
Right. He better not be going out there and getting beat by any D lineman. Right. Rosengarten's looking good. He better be protecting Lamar. Right. So yeah, you can tell us all the sweet things that you want to tell us about the offense. And if they don't perform, I don't want to hear any excuses. You're going to get flamed. Now, to answer Purple Rain's question about Matt Judon, hell no. And I like Matt Judon. Stop putting so much investment in the defense, my man. Who's replacing Clowney's 10 sacks?
You drafted Owe in the first round, Ojabo in the second round, Tavius Robinson in the third round, Adisa Isaac in the third round. You just paid Justin Madubuike, and you drafted Travis Jones in the third round.
That is a crazy question. Getting a first, second, and third round.
They better be replacing them sacks. Or was it fourth round for Tavius, I believe. Fourth round for Tavius.
Yeah.
They
first,
better
second,
be
third, and fourth round picks on edge rushers. And we're saying, hey, who's going to start?
Who's going to replace that 33-year-old dude who we didn't want to pay?
That is a crazy question, man.
That's also goes to, like, people are just going off what he had an argument with Gerard Mayo, then he left training camp. How do we know? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I gotta ask. Sutton, Alex, I'm not sure which one is in the chat. What about if we trade for a wide receiver? I need to see your answer. Like, should we trade for Ayuk? Should we trade for Brandon Ayuk? If no, why not? I just want to see the answer. Pay the Bill says Judon better be living at Taco Bell, learning to pass protect in the drive-through lane if that's going to happen. Okay, so for Judon, and we brought this up yesterday on Yolanda's show. I never wanted Judon to leave. Okay,
I love this. I love this question. I'm sorry, Jose.
Okay,
this is also a crazy question. Did we lose more defensive players or offensive players last year? You ain't had no offensive players to lose.
Wait. What defensive players did we lose? Let's
You lost
answer the
Patrick
question.
Queen. You lost Patrick Queen. You lost Gino.
Yep.
You lost Jadavian. I'm sure there are other guys further down the depth chart they
What's
lost.
up, Sutton?
But those are the main three I think that they lost, unless I'm forgetting somebody.
So it says absolutely not. You got home. Fair. Touche, my friend. Touche. Okay, wait. So was it three starters we lost?
Three
Ronald Darby.
main contributors. They didn't really lose
Okay.
Ronald Darby, did they?
Now let's look at the offense. We lost 3 starters on the O-line.
Yeah.
Right? We lost Zeitler. We lost
John Simpson and Moses.
And Moses. Then we lost Odell.
Mm-hmm. And then JK and Gus Edwards.
Okay. So who lost more? The offense.
But the thing is, the defense lost more talent because the offense didn't have talent.
But are they replaceable
starters
talent?
at O-line?
Huh? No. I mean, they lost starters on the O-line, but they weren't. I mean, Zeitler was fine. Simpson and Moses. Odell was nothing. JK and Gus not much of anything.
Very honest. Damn.
So the offense lost more. But yes, Sutton, I'm glad you answered that way. Okay. As long as you weren't going to say, hey, how are we going to pay for a wide receiver? Because I was going to tell you the same way we were going to pay for Matt Judon, because Matt Judon is not making pennies. Okay. He's getting all the money, deservingly so. I didn't want, and I want to remind you, Sutton, we've had these discussions on Engravens channel back in the day. We used to have a round table over there. I did not want Judon to go, or Yannick Ngakoue. I wanted us to keep both of them, right? The argument from a lot of fans then was, Judon wasn't worth the money because he wasn't getting double-digit sacks, but clearly he was talented enough to do it. And the minute he stepped foot in New England, all he's been doing is, being up there in lead in the sack leader column. He is that guy. We should have never gotten rid of him, but we did. We shouldn't have got rid of CJ Mosley, but we did, right? And the players that we got to replace them haven't gotten close to being the productive players that Judon and CJ Mosley have been. So we got to live with that, right? And we can't keep saying, well, it didn't work, so let's go spend money on guys, because we don't do that on offense.
Yeah. So who, you asked this of me, which I thought was very unfair because of the current state of Carolina. But who do you see, Ferris as well, who do you see as the sleeper kind of breakout player for Baltimore this year?
Well, okay. I said Trenton Simpson on defense. I think he's going to look like a breakout player just because the attention will be on Roquan, as it should be. And he'll just go out there and look a lot like Patrick Queen. I think he's going to make us forget that Patrick Queen was here.
Who's the running back? You guys, are y'all using Keaton Mitchell? Like, which running back are we using here?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, Derrick Henry. Yes. I forgot about Derrick Henry.
Damn, I
forgot about Derrick Henry.
Later in the season. Rasheen Ali, they picked up late in the draft. And then
that's the Marshall kid, right?
Yeah, obviously Justice Hill is still there. They had re-signed him last season. I like Justice, man. Just don't like Justice blocking.
Peter Bill says that Darius Smith is a guy who should have stayed in his opinion. Yeah, I liked him too, but Judon's better. Right? He's just a better player, and not only he doesn't just get sacks, like he was good in run support as well. Right? Like he did it all. Like sometimes you just gotta pay your talent. Now, I mean, not Matabike. I like Matabike. That's somebody I thought we could have done without because Travis Jones is good. Right? We just signed
Broderick Washington and Michael Pierce.
Yep. And yes, listen to Jared Green, everybody. Everyone hit the like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Okay? I know it's the off season. I know you guys are on vacation, right? You're taking a break. But the like and subscribe buttons still work. Just tap it.
They don't never take a break.
Never takes a break. DWC says always gonna break out of the locker room and take his place on the bench. Always gonna no
Nice.
man. Always gonna be fine.
Mhm.
Always gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
How you feel about Marlon Humphrey this year? I think he'll be fine too.
I think it's his last year as a Raven.
Yeah,
Mm,
you know what? You know what? There it is. Thank you for telling me that. I think Nate Wiggins takes his job.
this year?
Yeah. Towards
Okay.
the back end. I feel like watch out for Nate Wiggins. And nowadays, most NFL teams, they run a lot of nickel. So he could, probably usurp Arthur Mollett for a bit and then take then Marlon's job in the end. So watch out for Nate Wiggins.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
I don't
little
think that.
he's a little light in the butt, but it's called NFL has good strength programs. As the season goes along, he can build muscle mass, and then next year's off season also helps as well.
Here's why I disagree. He might be better than Marlon Humphrey, but because he's a rookie, he's young, he's going to make rookie mistakes. Doesn't matter how good you play, everybody makes rookie mistakes. That happens, and it's not a big deal. They have to learn, right? Because you're playing against some savvy veterans, and there's some things out there that you just don't know until you experience it.
That's a good
He's going to
point.
make those mistakes, and when he makes those mistakes,
That's a valid
Harbaugh
point.
is not going to like that, and he's not going to let a rookie, be one of the top guys in the secondary. He's going to say, hey, he's not ready yet. That's that. I mean, I think he might be good enough to take over
That's true.
that starting spot, but
Can I throw another
our
name?
coach won't. Yeah,
Roger Rosengarten.
Rosengarten.
Yes.
I hope so.
He was the bookend at Washington with their left tackle. He's a pure out and out right tackle. So he's not a converted left tackle or a guard. He played right tackle in college. Has been playing right tackle for years. I go to Duke Manyweather's always point is just because someone plays right guard doesn't mean they're a good left guard. You know what I mean? Not all those offensive linemen can play different positions. Like not everyone's Zach Martin, where they were a left guard in college, and then Dallas was like, "Let me move you to right guard, and you can play right guard, and now you're one of the best guards in NFL history." Most of these kids they have to play. Do it. Oh wait, no, he was their left tackle because I'm thinking of Oregon State's guy. My bad. Oh snap.
Oregon State. Who?
Wait. No. He was the right tackle at
You talking about Rosengard?
Washington. Yes. Yeah, Rosengard was the right tackle at Washington. My bad. My bad.
Yes.
I'm getting my tackles mixed up because there's like 8 tackles that were drafted. Shoot. Hold up. Let me double check.
Yes, Rosengarten was a tackle.
Yes, as Cam was pointing out, he was playing with left-hander Michael Penix.
Yeah. I was right. Yeah. Troy Fonte. How you say his name?
Fontenot.
Fontenot. Yeah, he was their left tackle, and then Rosengard was their right tackle, and then yeah. He can play right tackle. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. Which was the blind side for Michael because he's left-handed. Yes.
Yep.
Because which kind of proves that he's probably the better tackle out of him and Troy.
They thought so, and I believe he didn't give up a sack over the last 2 years, right? He played well. Regardless, he played very well protecting Michael Penix. But speaking of right tackles, what's up with Evan Neal?
He lost his job. It's done. It's over.
Damn.
Jermaine Illuminor is going to be our starting right tackle.
Ooh.
Reports coming out.
Hate to see it. A blast from the past.
Jermaine Illuminor.
Yeah, former Raven, former Raider. Makes sense
Former
because
Patriot, former everything because he can't play.
Yeah, they tried to, so during Hard Knocks, they tried to label him like, oh, he's kind of a mercenary, Joe. He wants a 2-year deal. You mean a mercenary? You mean mother lover can't keep a goddamn job? Is that what you mean? Like, what do you mean mercenary? Get out of here, mercenary.
He can keep a job, just not the same job.
Exactly. You can play like 8 different positions. The thing, the report was, just because he's injured and him coming back, his job is not guaranteed. He's not gonna. He has to win it back. He has to win it back. Today they signed, other Raider lineman who was under Carmen Basilio, Greg Vandernoot. He's probably gonna play right guard, or one of the guard positions. I don't know, one of them. But yeah, man, John Michael Schmitz is injured. He hurt his shoulder. Same shoulder he hurt last year, but a different type of injury on the shoulder. which means he hurt his shoulder again.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much what's going on. Andrew Thomas, he's the man, and for years he's had like 8 different or 10 different left guards with him. It's like, you want me to be successful when my teammate's always somebody different. So I have to
Right.
I have to learn a new left guard's tendencies, a new left guard's movements, and he does a solid job. People still think in that draft that he was the 4th best tackle in that draft, which I believe is incorrect, because 3 of those left tackles play right tackle. So he's the best left tackle. I think him and Jedrick Wills are the only left tackles still, because they moved Tristan Wirfs to right tackle and they moved that other dude to right tackle. I don't know what his name is. He doesn't matter. Andrew Thomas is the best left tackle in that draft, and he's probably a top 5 left tackle, probably only behind Trent Williams. Yep, Trent Williams. That's all I'll think about.
When was Evan Neal drafted?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
You had another high pick tackle not that long ago before that, right?
It was Andrew Thomas. We drafted him 4th overall. We drafted him 4th overall. He did not play well at his rookie year. He was horrible, and people gave up on him. And then he became Andrew Thomas. So everyone thought Evan Neal was going to have the same trajectory. He played bad his first
Did
year.
you have another tackle before that too?
Eric Flowers.
Yeah, Eric
Flowers.
Flowers. Yeah.
But you know what? But you know what? Credit
Find out
to
that
you
he's
guys.
actually a guard. He should have never played tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Credit to you guys for sticking with it though, right?
Penei Sewell's a right tackle. Pay the bills.
A damn good right tackle.
He's a damn good right tackle, but he's a right tackle. I'm talking about left tackles here. Taylor Decker is Detroit's left tackle.
Also damn good.
He's damn good too. That Detroit offensive lines, them two. Then they have Frank Ragnar right in the middle, and you're like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I think they're ranked number 1 on coaches' position ranking.
Yeah, they are. They're the best offensive line, and they have 2 swing tackles that they can bring off the bench, which is like, you have 7 offensive linemen that can start. Like, what's going on right here? I mean, it's insane. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. That's who.
Yeah.
That's what the Ravens need to be looking at making a trade.
Because Decker was looking for a big deal and
He got
hasn't
it.
gotten it. He
They
hasn't.
did. They just signed him yesterday, or the day before.
Oh, they did. Oh, because I was seeing a press conference where he was talking about where what's his face? Kneecap guy, Dan Campbell. I'm sorry. Where he said in the press conference, just come talk to me one-on-one and I'll tell you the truth. Because he brought up an experience where he was lied to about a contract and he didn't like it, so he doesn't want to ever treat a player that way. He doesn't want to ever lie to a player. He'll tell a player straight up, like, I'm not, or trying to be transparent and stuff like that.
We're gonna talk about Dan Campbell in the overtime show too.
3 years, $60 million.
Oh, well,
You saw what Dan Campbell did the other day, right? He brought that guy to camp and talked to players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
F
that
that
on the
guy.
overtime show.
Yeah.
F that
Other
guy.
story coming out of Giants
Used to
camp
be my
is
hero. Now
he
he's
used to be a lot of
zero.
people's heroes.
Yes.
I never really liked him.
I love that man.
I always found that dude annoying.
Yeah, you like them racist Giants though, so that's all right.
Hey man, no, I was a macho man. Okay, it's macho man. Ooh yeah, you better watch it.
Whatever. All right, we're gonna be discussing that.
Man, you talking about you used to root for a team with Jerry Richardson? Get out of here, man.
And then what happened? We killed him. so and made sure the team didn't stay in the family.
All
All right.
Wait, is he actually did?
Yes.
Overtime show. We're gonna talk about this on the overtime show.
How can you make that joke but then get mad at me for not knowing if
Jerry
someone passed
Richardson was
away?
a bad person.
Patreon.com/LBHTShow. Okay, that's where you can find the overtime show, and we get into all kinds of stuff. All right, it is well worth the price of admission. Okay, for as little as $5 a month. We also have other tiers: $10, $20, $60 tier, I believe. Right. Go check out the pricing and see which one is suitable for you. But all of them, including the $5 one, will get you admission to the overtime show, which is a lot of fun, right? For $5 more, $10, you can get yourself a LBHT crew coin. Okay, we still got some of these. You can't get the original one anymore, but this one is fire. Okay, promise you. Um, Also get you access to our Discord, the $5 tier. Okay, and that's a lot of fun. Like how you guys are in here in the chat, chopping it up. And once the show ends, you're like, oh man, I still want to talk to Kim. I still want to talk to Pay the Bills. I want to talk to Sean Coles. Right? Look, D Weezy, Jay, these guys are all in the Discord. Okay, coaches in our Discord as well. Like a lot of people. That chat is constantly going 24/7, so it's a lot of fun. Okay. But yes, the overtime show is that's the thing that people love to see us just kick back and talk about all kinds of different topics. We're going to be discussing Robert Downey Jr., him playing Dr. Doom, and how we feel about that.
Bagman.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff to discuss. Patreon.com/LBHTShow. Make sure you check it out. What are you doing here, B? You switching scenes here?
We're getting ready to roll into submitted questions because we have been here over an hour and it is time to wrap it up, B.
Submitted questions time. Let's go.
Can I tell one final story? I didn't know you were gonna hit it. I didn't know it.
What is your
Big story coming out of Giants camp. If Daniel Jones keeps playing bad, they're gonna move on to Drew Lock. I don't know how solid that story is, but it's a good story to follow.
So you did you click the other button too, the football one? Okay,
No.
it showed both Stinger videos.
No, I didn't click it.
Yeah, it showed on the screen. We'll work it out later. But
all right.
Okay.
We got 2 submitted questions. First one from our guy Jeremy. Thank you very much, Jeremy. He says, is Simone Biles a top 5 athlete all time? Ferris?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes as well, just because she's been unbelievably dominant.
Yeah.
She's not as decorated as some other athletes, but the gap between Simone at her best and number 2 is wide.
In a sport that requires a great amount of athleticism.
Yeah.
She's been that much better than her competition. Yes, she is top 5.
She got hurt. She got hurt during team all around qualifying. She hurt her calf. Had to tape it up. And she was still better than everybody. She was still better than my favorite thing about watching her in this Olympics is how they're like, look at Simone Biles. Look how amazing she is. The oldest gymnast ever in America to ever win a medal. She's 27. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But that tells
That's
you
ancient
how
in that
difficult
sport.
Dude, bro, that's not even ancient, bro. That's ancient times a million, bro. She's like she's a relic, apparently.
And I give her and more kudos points for not letting the internet trolls mess up her relationship with Jonathan Owens. Okay?
Shout out to Jonathan, man. Shout out to you, my guy. Taking notes.
They are a great couple. All right.
Amazing.
Jonathan Owens didn't speak no lies. All right. You had some haters
don't
out
believe
there
him,
that
but-
don't like the fact that don't like the to see two young couples, young people just be in love and be happy.
Big fan of love.
And she was like, man, screw y'all haters. I found my man, and y'all can't ruin my joy. All right.
Good for her.
And now she just adding to her medal count. Salute, Simone Biles.
So the oldest American gymnast ever to win an Olympic gold was 22. And it was bested by this year's group of 27, 24, and 23, respectively.
Bunch of old heads, huh?
Bunch of old heads. So Simone's the oldest at 27.
The golden generation, as they say.
Pretty much. So, yeah, they're
You know what I get to be 27 again?
Absolutely. The gymnasts, they give themselves nicknames every year. So this year they're called the Golden Girls because they're the oldest. They're the oldest group average age. Guess what the average age is? 22.
Yeah, I hate
group.
young
Half of
people
them-
pretending to be old.
Half of them just started drinking.
So the reason it's 22 is they have a 16-year-old on their squad who's the future of American women's gymnastics. She unfortunately was the one who got dropped in the final 4 of the all of the team event.
It's not unfortunate. She's not as good as the rest of them.
Yeah, she didn't do it. But shout out to Jade Carey. She had the flu the entire time, and she still came out and she had a job to do. She said, give us a good vault score, and we'll win this. And she came out, she dropped that 14.6 on them and was like, "What's good?" And then she went about her way, winning. There's a fourth time the Americans have won the team all around gold. Shout out to Dominique Dawes, the Black History Fact.
You're saying she had the real flu game?
No, she had the real flu game. Yeah. And she had to bounce back during qualification. When she was doing the floor exercise, she did like this twirl and she like landed and like smashed her back. You know what I mean? Like
I also 27. Yeah, I remember the 90s.
Come on, just out.
Yeah, so like Jade Carey, like damn, just hello.
All right, next question.
All right.
Shout out to the U.S. women's shout out to the men too for getting bronze, first time in 16 years. We got a medal in men's gymnastics.
No, we don't like losers out here. All right, next question from our guy Jay.
What's up, Jay?
I shortened it a little bit because Jay likes to write paragraphs, but what are your predictions for the Cutthroat LBHT Dynasty League? He's talking about EA College 25. We have an online dynasty going on. There's 12, I believe, members right now. And my prediction is that I am going to have or be tied for the best record in the group, while also having by far the worst team.
Man, you play the MAC.
Goddamn right I do.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Right, I don't know if it's gonna be true or not, but I predict I will be switching teams here pretty soon. Because I told you guys not to join my conference.
Jose, you're gonna go running from the competition.
He's running from the grind, Jose.
I told everybody well before this game came out that I was going to be Hawaii. I also said don't join my conference. Okay, there is nobody hot in the Mountain West that you have to have. All right, I have ties to Hawaii. We used to live in Hawaii. Okay, still got friends in Hawaii. Okay,
Caleb's an alumnus of UNLV.
What ego? I have the worst team and I don't play anybody by design. I'm not losing any of these games.
Ego. But it's so I tell everybody don't. I joined your conference, Hendo. I joined your conference. Excuse me. You said FSU all along. FSU ain't in our
Fresno State.
No,
University.
Sorry, no.
The real FSU.
So it went from
California.
Nobody's supposed to be in my conference to like 5 people in my conference. I'm not playing you guys.
It's only 4.
I'm not playing them.
You have to play them. They're on your schedule.
Yeah, they're in your conference.
Okay.
Shout out to Caleb, alum of UNLV.
Yeah, he's an alum. There's this connection.
Salute. I don't care. How about that?
I don't care. It's my league. Get out of my conference. I told y'all. I don't want to hear. I told y'all before it started. You can do custom conferences. You can do custom schedules. If you don't want to be in the conference with somebody, move out the conference. Nobody said, "Hey, move me." No, nobody said, "Hey, I want to switch up my schedule." So I want to hear it now.
Hendo, why you snitching? All right, like I
just want to point out, Brodny left the conference for being coach.
I didn't leave any conference.
So the losing isn't what bothers me. I'm not great at this game yet, right? Like I don't care about losing anybody, right? But I have goals. Okay, one, I don't want you guys slowing down my goals. Also, I just don't want you slowing me down because you guys are terrible at playing your games and doing your recruiting.
You want to see? I know that people don't really get to see Coach Evans be anything other than jovial. He's got a great attitude all the time. He's always smiling. He's always happy. You want to see Coach Evans upset? You go into that College 25 channel on our Discord. He is about to kill somebody up in there.
I just want to point out, I'm waiting on my opponent.
Did you reach out to your opponent first?
Yes, I did. I reached. I can't reach out to my opponent directly. I have to reach out to an intermediary.
Shug Jr.
Yeah.
You can reach out to him directly. His username is right on the list.
Yeah.
Well, so I can send him a message.
Oh my god! Why are you asking me permission
to
be nice someone else's child?
Be nice, okay? Don't curse at. I know you like cursing at kids. Don't curse at the kid, okay?
I don't curse at kids. Why?
No, they don't. They don't.
lie?
Okay, first of all, hold on. Hendo, no, they don't have one more day. We're advancing tonight at midnight Eastern time. And
See,
Ferris,
you're
you
part of the
do
problem,
curse
Hendo.
at children. You do curse at children. I've heard you curse at children.
I don't curse at children. I don't understand this nonsense.
All right, just
Good night,
have a
Josella.
good night, bro.
All right, next question. Is that the last question?
That's it. It's time to get up out of here.
It is time to get up out of here. We promised you a shorter show, but still
And
well
then
over
we
an
didn't
hour.
deliver.
We did. All right, and Big Reg is here. What's going on, Big Reg? Ferris, let the people know where they can find you.
Guys, you find me on the Let's Get Ready Network, the Highlights YouTube channel. We're talking all sports. This is coming up. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame game. Our first technically real football action is coming up this Thursday. So we'll break that down, and we're going to continue talking about our training camp with me and Caleb. Talk NFC East, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, a smattering of some Eagles and some Commanders if they come about, if they have information. And then Friday night, 8 o'clock Pacific, me and Adelia are going to talk about one of the greatest sporting events ever, the Olympics. We'll be talking the Olympics this Friday, 8 o'clock Pacific, the open table. We're getting, every 4 years, I feel proud to be an American. The other 3, not so much. But this year, absolutely. And you know what?
Did you see Katie Ledecky in her, not even the finals, but I believe it was like a semifinal
prelim heat,
where she beat the number 2 swimmer in that heat by 17. I was fucking saying it, Ferris. I was in the middle of saying it, by 17 seconds.
Yeah, my favorite thing is like when she like comes up like after the swim and acts like surprised. She's like, "Where everybody at?" It's like, Katie, what are you doing? You know where everybody at. They're over there. She's one of the.
I win again.
Did I win again? Did I break my other record?
Couldn't beat Australia when it mattered though.
She dried off.
It was the 400 meter. Wasn't her event. Her
Couldn't
events are
beat
the
Australia
800.
when it mattered.
No, you watch your goddamn mouth. Who are you? Don't you ever talk about her like that again? You're un-American.
Ferris, if it ain't her event, why is she swimming in it?
Because she had to sub in for somebody. She was taking one for the team,
bro.
and she still got a medal.
Okay.
So wait,
she got the worst medal.
So she wasn't ready. Aren't you supposed to be prepared? Next man
She's
up, next woman up, and all that.
the long distance runner, man. The long distance swimmer person.
Got no speed. And this is why I say, Jose. This is no disrespect to Katie. Katie is an incredible. No, I'm not. Is an incredible Olympian. Okay, and she's done phenomenal things. But this is why I say that there are 2 events that matter. It's the 100 meters and the 4x100 meters, men's and women's. Tell me who the fastest people are in the world and get out of my face. I don't want to hear who can just jog for a long time at the same speed.
Out-stamina the next person.
Katie Ledecky.
Man,
right?
Global warming. Sea is rising. You people need to know how to swim.
I know how to swim. Ain't nobody gonna be timing me, Ferris.
You got to swim fast away from the sharks when they invade our lands.
She can't.
Katie Ledecky will get eaten because she doesn't swim fast. She swims fast long distance.
You need a short burst to get away from the shark, not stamina.
Speaking of that, shout out to Tori Husk and Gretchen Walsh. Shout out to them. Tori Husk actually beat out 2 Australians for the 100-meter freestyle today. The defending world champion, I think Iona Anderson, and her teammate Molly, whatever, the Australian people, they didn't medal at all. They were 4th and 5th, and the Americans got 2nd. You know what I mean? So shout out to that. She, right. she almost had first.
Making boats, right?
That's true. I guess they still
exactly paid.
In this world, they did.
They didn't stop making boats, but they started making killer whales that love to destroy boats. So
exactly.
Oh, we did talk about that all the time. You guys gotta go to
the orcas. Orcas, man. Yes,
that were led by what was the name?
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah, it was like
Gladys.
Yeah,
it was like White Gladys.
No, White Gladys. It was White Gladys. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Look, patreon.com/LBHTShow. That's where y'all need to go right now. Okay, the overtime show is going to start in a few minutes. Everybody else, thank you very much. This has been fun.
Track and field
as
starts
always.
In a couple days.
Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
Can we talk Olympics?
Peace.